Good morning, everyone. Do I have a question for you today? Does it ever feel like the internet content creation sphere is just like, I don't know, becoming extremely samey? Like every artist draws the same way, and every YouTube video has the same stupid looking thumbnail and the same rage bait title, and everybody's posting the same slop every day of every week of every month of every year. Yeah, it's because the algorithms are literally ruining the internet and forcing every single creator to abide by the same set of stupid rules, or else your reach is mysteriously slashed. So everybody is forced to be a clone of each other content wise, or else the YouTube gods will get you. And as a viewer and a creator, I really hate this. Now, I don't think I'm really surprising anybody by saying you really have to play into the YouTube algorithm. Honestly, I'd say if you were to compile a list of 100 most shocking things about the internet, I probably wouldn't even make it. But I do think it's very fair to talk about it because it's probably worse than you might actively realize. Let's start from a viewer's standpoint. Your watch page, I'm sure, is flooded with identical looking titles and thumbnails, and they're all posting the same negative or fake hyped up crap, and they're all so exaggerated and they look so darn fake. People are just completely faking emotional reactions now for the sake of clicks, because we all know hyping something up that you don't care for or trashing something you think is actually totally fine is the only way to get clicks in this new YouTube universe, because as everybody knows, acting ambivalent does not get you views. Why? Because it's boring. Truly, there is like no space for honest opinions anymore, unless you are talking about something like it is the greatest thing since sliced bread, or you are acting like it is the biggest steaming pile of trash since what's the last really awful thing? The New York Jets. And from a creator's standpoint, let me tell you, this is super frustrating because I have to stylize all of my titles and all of my thumbnails in a way that make it seem like I hate a game a lot more than I actually do, or I loved it probably more than I really did. And it's not because I don't feel confident in my content being able to stand on its own. It's because this is literally just the reality of the YouTube sphere and the algorithm we're currently dealing with. And that if you have an opinion and it's like Xenoblade Chronicles X, it's a good game. It could be a really well done video. You could have a really honest, genuine take. You could already be a creator that has millions of subs, and you will find that video will get a fraction of the views if you had a face going like and your title was something like Xenoblade Chronicles X is so bad it made me cry and want to sell my house and run into the wilderness because it's trash. That will probably get triple what you normally see. Why? People want to watch that, I guess. I'm kidding. People don't really want to watch that. That's what the YouTube algorithm thinks people want to watch because of the great Mr. Beastification, which I will get into. But it really feels like we're in a space where the content isn't really what matters anymore. It's all about how polarizing your title and your thumbnail are, which is how extreme content of all different varieties gets pushed. And it feels like there's just no space for simple videos where people just have an honest, normal, not earth-shattering opinion or thing to say. And let me just go on a bit of a rant about thumbnail videos. When I'm making my thumbnails, I always have to go through my entire video to find whatever the most like disgusted or expressive faces I made in the entire video, because I'm like, that's the only thing I can really use. And it's frustrating to me as a creator that I have to play into this because I don't like it. And it's also frustrating when I then, in turn, see channels I have watched for years, I really look up to. We're talking some channels that focus on like STEM related concepts, like, actual science and factual stuff. And they have to turn to using the same sorts of ploys that like Mr. Beast uses. I was scrolling through my my subscriptions, and one of the channels I watch posted a new video, and I almost didn't click on it because I thought it was like a Mr. Beast video for a second, with the facial expression the YouTuber was making and the all caps title and the big red text. And you actually click on the video and it's like the super informative, factual, very well done, very well researched scientific video. But it's so disheartening to see creators who I always assumed had the highest standards of integrity and actually researching their topics have to basically turn to the same tricks as like Mr. Beasts and the KSIs and I don't really know other big YouTubers, but I see them all the time. I just don't know their names. But I hate seeing them having to resort to the same tricks that those kind of like, they're not posting factual stuff. Mr. Beast, You think Mr. Beast is here to learn you something? Of course not, but it feels like even like informative videos have to be treated as entertainment in order to get views, which sucks. And I really have to complain, especially now with how much AI has improved, about how the YouTube algorithm, this is not just me, this is documented across creators ranging from 10 subs to over 1 million subs, have complained about how the YouTube algorithm relentlessly punishes people who don't consistently post. Which is why you'll see all these slop channels posting daily, because that is how you rack up views. And YouTube themselves, as a creator, I of course get access to creator tools. And one thing YouTube loves to do is remind you to take a break if you need a week to recharge, which is really funny because it's been documented across literally so many channels that if, God help you, you take a break, they expect your reach to be dead the next time you post. All right, it has gotten to a point where if I know I need a break, like literally just 1 week, I could be swamped with homework. I'm like, all right, well, I better change all of my plans because the next video I post will get a fraction of the views I would normally expect it to the point I actually have to change my schedule to videos that I would be okay with. They don't get a crazy amount of views, which is why I haven't posted for a few weeks because I was on break, like actual break from school. And I had a bunch of homework and stuff I had to take care of, and I was planning events and all that. And so I specifically chose this video to be the one I post after I come back from my very short hiatus. You know why? Because I'm like, if this one doesn't get an insane amount of views, that's all right. But if I post the Xenoblade X video right after a break, well, I know that one has potential, but I have to hold on to it to after I've consistently been posting to make sure that video hits its potential. Which is why there are so many channels who are able to get insane numbers, even if they don't have very many subscribers, because they're posting mindless slop every day. But the YouTube algorithm doesn't care about the quality of your content. They care about how frequently you're posting it. So if you're going to try to post once a week, you better stick to that. Or else the second you skip for even 1 week, it doesn't matter. Like, your entire family could have just vanished into thin air. YouTube doesn't care. The next video you post, doesn't matter what topic it is, very, very rarely will it do well unless you've been gone for a significant amount of time where all your viewers want to know what happened. Most of the time, you skip a week, you skip a day, and YouTube will tell you, oh, maybe you should take a break this week. Make sure to recharge, take care of your mental health. And then, okay, well, if you want to post your next video, don't expect to make anything off of it, loser. Now, of course, being a small creator, this is more of just like an irritation because I'm under no delusions that I will ever make a living off this. I just do it for fun and for something to do. But if you're a creator who makes a living off of YouTube, skipping a week could mean losing a significant amount of money, especially if you're at a point where you're not making like hundreds of thousands from YouTube and you literally need it to make a living and survive. It is such a bad place to be caught between, and I would understand if it were the creator themselves who's pushing themselves to be doing this, but it's not. It's YouTube. YouTube is the one telling us that we should take breaks. And of course, we are humans too, and we need to take breaks. And then YouTube is also the one who punishes us, which, of course, so many people have to turn away eye now because, I mean, why wouldn't you? The more content you put out, the more YouTube algorithm is going to reward you for making stuff consistently. So it literally feels like the platform is encouraging slop and crappy content. And the same garbage happens on like all other social media platforms too, where it feels like people are rewarded for posting more, and the only way most people can post more is by posting stuff of lesser quality. Which is why many Twitter artists or Instagram artists will go viral or have their art do really well for following challenges that are popular at a time. But here's the catch. You're only going to be pushed and have your stuff do really well if you are able to meet the tight, rigorous demands of these challenges. If you can't whip something up fast, or you can't whip up 5 or 6 drawings like quickly, like once a day, to still maintain relevancy in the algorithm, you're not going to get this push. And so what ends up happening is some of these artists all have to adopt the very same quickly rush style in order to get something to pop off with the challenges. And if you don't draw that type of art, or you just don't draw fast enough for that, it is very, very difficult to experience the same sort of boost in followers or visibility or likes that people following these trends or challenges do, because the algorithms want to push stuff that is going to abide by these challenges and these trends, which isn't a problem in of itself. But what ends up happening is it's the same sort of art styles that therefore keep getting pushed, because it's the same kind of artists who are able to make stuff quickly and draw in a certain way that's going to get views and is going to be able to have their stuff be pushed by the algorithm. I mean, I can speak from experience. Before I hit college, I could draw and post every single week. And I drew a lot more of the art because I just wanted followers, and it wasn't really about doing something that would make me happy or drawing stuff I liked. It was about what would appeal most to the algorithm, or how fast could I draw and adhere to a specific time of day or week that would get people to follow and see the art the most. And let me tell you, it's not fun. It's not fun feeling like you're restricted in your creative liberty and you're literally forcing yourself to stay to a schedule for no particular reason. I was literally self-imposing a schedule on myself, every single day of the week, to make sure I was able to do that, because that was the only way I knew I was going to be able to grow. And it just feels very, very restrictive. And it feels like, especially now when you have AI art that focuses on making this specific content, AI art is perfectly tailored to blowing up on Twitter, because it has everything that the Twitter algorithm wants. And they're able to post very pretty looking art, very exaggerated art. It's the kind of stuff that people are going to see when they're quickly scrolling through their timeline and they're going to hit the like on, because it does everything to appeal to the average Twitter person who's looking at this stuff. And it's perfectly tailored to it. And all these platforms talk about how they don't want it to be overrun with AI or bots or whatever. And then they literally have algorithms in place that reward those kinds of users, because feasibly they're some of the only people who are going to be able to abide by the way the algorithm wants to work and wants to push stuff. Just like with YouTube, it really feels like there is this shift towards prioritizing and pushing very exaggerated, very rushed and kind of sloppy, crappy content over stuff that feels more authentic or genuine or different. Now, I promise I'm not salty. If you're watching this and you're thinking that I'm just complaining because I don't have 1 million subs or 100,000 Twitter followers or whatever some of these other channels or artists have, I promise that is not it. I love seeing diversity of content in both videos and art or what have you, and so it makes me really frustrated to see how many channels or artists I like who used to be so different and stand out feel like they have to conform to algorithms or whatever the big predominant type of content is in order for their stuff to succeed. It feels like we lose a lot of honesty and a genuine feeling of people making stuff they're passionate about in favor of trying to do stuff that's going to get you the most views, because I can speak from experience. There's something particularly frustrating about spending a lot of time on something for it to not do well, especially when you see other people make other kinds of content with a fraction of that time and it blows up, and you realize, if I just do that, I can have what they have. And what's really frustrating is a lot of times it's true. The most followers I ever got on Twitter was by following a challenge. I think I gained almost 10,000 followers. And I hated it. It was so frustrating because I had to whip out an artwork every other day. It sucked. But it's the reality of it. It really does reward you for following what they strictly outline as rules. Some of my most popular videos are ones where I pick my most exaggerated faces, or titles I think will be the most polarizing or whatever. And it really does reward you for that. And it's very hard to then keep this sense of integrity and passion and wanting to do what you love, and then also seeing it quite literally rewards you for following what it tells you to do, which just ends up making everybody have the same sort of content. And a lot of times it's very fake and crappy content. And it's such a struggle for mental health too. And I'm sure I'm not the first person on YouTube to voice this. I have seen a lot of creators, both the big and small channels, voice similar concerns, where it really does feel like you're almost enslaved to the algorithm, because you're kind of forced to choose when it comes to uploading regularly. You're kind of forced to choose between taking a sick day, taking a mental health day, taking a break so you don't get permanently burned out from what you're doing, or if you have something big going on in your life. It feels like you end up being enslaved to the internet and the algorithm. And what kills me is that now it's not even you feel like you owe it to your fans or whatever, It doesn't even feel anymore like you're doing it because you feel like, oh, I owe it to my viewers, I owe it to my followers, I want to keep making stuff for them. I don't want to miss a week for them. They enjoy watching this. No, it feels like you're a slave to the algorithm, not your viewers. Your viewers are probably girl, you need to take a break, go take it. But the algorithm is over here with whip in hand, ready to completely destroy your reach. If God forbid you take 1 day off, 1 week off, it is not flying. And it ends up causing like a serious strain on mental health. There have been so many times where I have been like, I don't really feel like making a video, or I don't really feel like editing today. Maybe I'll just push it back to next week. And then I remember, well, you do like money, don't you? You do like seeing your channel grow a bit, don't you? Then you should probably post today, because screw your mental health. If you don't post, you're not going to grow. And if you don't grow, you're not going to make money. And if you don't make money, as bad stuff happens. And it's not a good place to be. It ends up feeling like it's not really something you do because you like to do it or you want to do it anymore. It feels like you wanted to do it at one point, and now you keep doing it because your YouTube overlord is constantly standing over your shoulder telling you if you don't post, say goodbye to your channel. Oh, and as a viewer, it also means you're regularly being fed content that even the creators themselves don't care about. So just think about that, all right? It already feels like passion right now takes a second place to money and clout, which is very frustrating. But it's even worse when you think about the fact that there are a lot of creators who sometimes do not want to be making that video they are posting for you and telling you about how they're so excited to upload it for you. They're doing it because if you don't post this week, YouTube is going to completely slash your revenue and your reach and how many subscribers you're going to get. And I know if you're just a casual viewer, that can sound like a really stupid thing. I don't even have 10,000 subs yet, and it's still something I focus on a lot, because I do still generate some revenue from that. And of course, like any other normal human, I want to maximize that as much as possible. But at the same time, I also have a life, and I don't want to feel like I have to pick between the reach of my channel or having a life. And everybody else has voiced similar concerns, and this is how burnout happens when people feel like they can't take breaks, because you can't keep making content every single day 24/7 for the rest of your life. You need breaks. Everybody does. But it feels like compared to any other kind of side hustle, YouTube is the one that rewards you the least. Like, it anti-rewards you for taking a break. Well, they also really like to send you updates in the creator center that's like, take a break this week, bestie. And real quick on the Mr. Beastification of stuff that I said I'd talk about. This is just like a really personal complaint. I don't know how many other people are bothered by this, but this has less to do with Mr. Beast himself as a creator. I don't really care for him or really follow along with him. It's more of just I've watched over the years as YouTube has slowly pivoted towards that style of content as they've seen how big he's gotten. And so it feels like everybody is trying to do the same thing. And it's not like everybody's trying to make the same kind of content, but everybody is using the same sorts of tricks that they saw YouTube clearly reward him for. YouTube is then rewarding people for doing that. And it just feeds the cycle of overly faked content, you know, the giant open mouth on the thumbnail, the tear rolling out of the eye, the all caps titles, the pretty obviously clickbait, but not so much clickbait that you're actually going to leave the video, just enough clickbait for you to click on the video and wait to see if it's actually clickbait. And it's just this feeling of watching the internet slowly go from being people creating stuff they're passionate about, but you can also be passionate about entertaining people. But the kind of content I see being pushed now, it doesn't really feel like it's there because you also are passionate about it too. It feels like the entertainment is mostly just to amuse your like 7-year-old viewers. And it's just like really frustrating to see how much this is taking over. And like I said, there are channels I have followed and respected for years who now have to do the same like shocked face, the close-up, the oh my god, how could they have done this? You know, and these are channels that really pride themselves on their integrity and their research and their fact checking. And to see them have to go down the same thing just to get views, I think it's just a sad state that we no longer think stuff like science or technology or math or anything even remotely informative is worthy of getting views unless they follow the Mr. Beastification of the rules. You know, I get there's no such thing as a perfect algorithm, and I'm under no delusion that there ever really will be, but I really feel like, especially with AI currently being as prevalent as it is, something needs to be done to steer people away from feeling like you have to post constantly. It feels like the way the algorithms are currently set up, it quite literally rewards AI content because they want people who are going to post consistently. They want people who are going to be able to post exaggerated kinds of content. And who can do that better than people who are using AI to do all the work for them to knock off all those checkboxes? When creators feel passionate to take a break or, you know, to make different kinds of content or share their real feelings, I think it helps all of us, honestly, to see a more humanistic and genuine homepage. To see that the people making the videos we like to watch are actually people too. And even if, yes, they're making a lot of money off this, it's not just a business. They're also people making content they're passionate about to share with us, who are people who are passionate about watching the stuff they make and enjoying the same sorts of things they do. It feels like, especially on YouTube, there's a very, very narrow definition of what's going to succeed. And once you pick your niche, by God, you better stick to it, because that schedule, that type of content you make the very first time you post, once you get one video do well, you better stick to that specific thing, because it's not just that that's what your viewers want to see. That's what YouTube's going to push. It's really hard to blame the viewers when I think YouTube is the root problem for a lot of this, because this isn't just, like I said, one specific channel. This happens to so many people, where diversifying what you're doing, even by the slightest, kills your channel. It kills your reach. And so it ends up feeling like you're stuck on this hamster wheel where all you can do is this very narrow set of ideas, posting on a consistent schedule, and that's the only way you're going to be able to succeed in the current YouTube algorithm, which is great if you're an AI and you don't have feelings or stuff to worry about and you don't care about exploring different kinds of content. But for real people, you can't just like confine yourself creatively like that. It's really frustrating to see that that's kind of like what the YouTube algorithm is like kind of permanently moving to right now. And it really needs to change to a way that pushes like genuine content posted on like whatever schedule you want to post. I don't know. To me, it just really kind of enforces the idea that we're in like the dead internet. And not just because of bots, which are obviously a problem, but when there's so many creators using AI, it's like, are these even like real people posting their real thoughts anymore? Or is it real people trying to get fake content because that's what gets used? It just feels like, especially now with how AI has become such a buzzword that you literally cannot even turn on a college football game without hearing the word AI, 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 like at least 10 times in a singular commercial break, or during the game itself if you really want to spice it up. It feels like you can't escape it. It's the new buzzword. And okay, so clearly it's becoming prevalent. Why not focus on putting something YouTube that was created for the intent of people sharing ideas, sharing content, sharing their passions, and put the human back into it by stop like the algorithm that prioritizes constant posting, constant exaggerating of content, the kind of content that can be best done by an AI. Like, it just feels like it feeds into itself, like, and it's pushed. I constantly am seeing AI assisted, videos or thumbnails on my timeline, and I don't click on that stuff, but it shows up anyway. You can't escape it. It feels like there's fewer and fewer real people. Like, honestly, I feel like if you want to see actual human interaction on the internet, go to Reddit. I always feel like I try to be as honest and genuine in my videos as possible. Like, I was genuinely surprised to see I had a reaction video that actually did really well when I posted my reaction to the new Fire Emblem game. Because I wasn't jumping around, I wasn't screaming, I wasn't being like extra or anything. It was just me having my honest reactions, and my honest reactions are just subdued. But I'm like, you know what? If there's other people who see that you don't have to have like extreme screaming or shocked faces in your videos for them to be some of the most watched reactions for a particular game, maybe that'll inspire a couple people to take up content creation and really focusing on making it genuine and human and personal. I don't know. I'm just one person. What can I do except complain in a video and hope YouTube bigwigs watch it? Anyway, I think the moral of the story is creators and viewers alike deserve a lot better than what we're getting from social media companies, and I think it's high time the algorithms start treating us like we're humans again. There's a lot of AI and bots and everything everywhere, but at the end of the day, the people who make up the internet predominantly are humans, and it feels like we're not being treated as such. And so to anybody who runs an algorithm watching this, please just remember that at the core of your user base and the people creating it and running that social media are humans. So let's treat them like that. All right, anyway, I should go now and watch that UCLA Indiana disaster. Bye-bye.